Welcome, folks, to another episode of the Scrum Call. In the previous episode, we discussed Scrum ceremonies. We did an overview of all the different ceremonies within Scrum. In this episode and the episode going forward, we will be covering each of those ceremonies one by one and their nuances with some, practical experience, some examples from my own side. So far, there are no blockers. All right. So today's ceremony that we'll be covering is the Scrum Call or the Scrum Meeting. It is also sometimes referred to as a daily stand-up. Whatever you might call it, one thing is for sure, it is one of the most important and I would dare say a fundamental meeting of Scrum, Agile Scrum framework. Why is it so important and why am I, paying so much attention to it, or why do I consider it that way? The reason is very simple. This is the meeting where the Scrum team comes together. In some cases, the development team comes together along with the Scrum Master and discusses what is it that they accomplished or what work did they do yesterday. They talk about the work that they're going to do today and call out any concerns, any blockers, or any issues where they might be stuck or need help. Now, every person within the team answers these three questions. What did I do yesterday? What am I doing today? If I need help or if I'm stuck somewhere, there is a blocker, they'll call that out. These three things. Every person within the team does that. So when everyone gives that particular concise information in the presence of the entire team, what happens is the team as a whole is aware of where things are going, who's doing what. So if someone is about to take a leave, they can call it out over there. And because day on day we are informing everyone that, hey, this is what I'm working on, at least someone could be a backup and they will have at least some context, right? The Scrum Master, the product owner, Scrum Master should be part of it. Product owner, it's good if he or she is part of it. At least they're also aware and get a holistic overview of what's happening within the team. Now, the important thing to note is it's very easy to have your conversations getting derailed. What I mean to say is, if someone is saying that, hey, yesterday I worked on the print feature, today I'll look at completing that and I'll submit it for QA. So QA folks, please look out for that ticket around afternoon. And I have one blocker and I'm not sure how to go about it. There is some issue. In such a case, it is easy for either the Scrum Master, the product owner, or any other member within the team to sort of delve a little more. Hey, what is it that you're facing issue with? Where are you stuck? Tell me. Or have you tried this? Have you tried that? Such kind of a deviation will do no good. And I'll tell you why. Because if, let's say, we have a team of 6 people and say the third person comes up with this and the derailing discussion begins, the other remaining 3 people within the team are yet to give their updates. Maybe this blocker that this person is facing is not as important as what the 6th guy is having. It may be a showstopper that your project itself stops until that issue of the 6th guy is resolved. But because now you're using up time, the other 3 people lose interest in the Scrum meeting to the point where they may try to not even attend your Scrum meeting. Right? The other thing, you might miss out on, the other issues that people might be facing. So it is important to set a very clear expectation that, guys, the Scrum Call, and I'm going to call it Scrum Call because that's how I've been referring to it. So it's important to make it very clear that the Scrum Call is going to be for 15 minutes. Each person answers the 3 questions. Anyone facing any issue will call it out, but hold on to it. We will come back to that later. And within 15 minutes, we wrap it up. Now, what that does is it maintains focus of the people on the task at hand. The task at hand is to disseminate information about what you're working on. To let the team know what's happening, the Scrum Master is aware of what's happening. So that condensed, focused information is not lost. Everyone has their time to speak out. Now, during this time, by the end of all the updates are done, as a Scrum Master, you would know how many people are having issues. right? And then there's something called a 16th minute discussion. What that means is, assuming by 15 minutes you finish all the updates, 16th minutes onwards we can get into some detailed discussions. So I usually used to refer to it as detailed discussions. So when that happens, it's a free for all. By that time, as a Scrum Master, you would have also made a note of, okay, who all need help, who all are stuck and where. Then we can start addressing that, okay, let's talk about this now. Person XYZ has had some issue. One of you was about to ask some questions, so we can talk about that. So let's, take this time for that. And that's where you can have an engaged discussion where, people can either, like how I used to do this is, we would either have everybody of the team in that room and we would sort of start discussing. Or if it was, let's say we don't need the entire team, some people can leave, so I used to let them go as well. So again, purely depends on, what works at that particular situation to get that issue resolved, or to see or explore what other things can be done. So this is typically how a Scrum call is run. Main attendees are the team. The team should be mainly part of it. Beyond that, you could also include any other members of any other teams, which is not part of your own Scrum team, but maybe there is some other XYZ team that you're dependent on. Maybe you can call them in your own Scrum call so that they can share their updates if the dependency is so heavy. So that way, at least the team is also aware that, okay, this team that we're dependent on, this is the update from their side. Instead of having a separate meeting, spending extra time on, a different meeting altogether. Again, efficient utilization of time and resources, guys. I think that is the key. This happens on a daily basis, preferably at the same time, at the same place. Why? And I'm not too hard and rigid on the aspect of this being at the same time and the same place, but usually it is a good thing to do. And the benefit of that is that everyone is prepared. I usually do it in the evenings because my teams are distributed across the world. So that commonality of timing has to be maintained. So evening worked best for us. But if, let's say, everyone is, say, coming in the morning time, or if the team itself is situated in one single location, see what time works best and then do it. That's one way to go about it. The thing that you have to watch out for is, the main thing is derailer discussions. That you have to be careful about. There might be situations like if it's a new team, getting to know Scrum, and some people may not attend. And that is where, as a Scrum Master, you have to coach those particular team members. Work with them, work with their manager, help them understand the importance of this. On a daily basis, Agile ensures that you have a touch base to see where the work is going. You don't have to wait for a week to do a team meeting on a weekly basis and then realize that, oh my God, we are pretty far out. We have some big problem, which could have been caught up earlier had you had meetings, more often. So that's the other reason why Scrum call is only for 15 minutes. We don't want people to spend time sharing their updates, or spending too much time in too many meetings either, because the team has a lot of work to do. The lesser the meetings, more focused and productive the meetings, the better for the overall work and the team dynamics and morale as well. So that was the quick and easy way of going about Scrum call. I didn't want to keep this for 15 minutes. I mean, how much more can you talk about this? Obviously, there will be questions that you might be having. If there are something like that, please do shoot out to me. I would love to do a follow-up episode, for this one, because this is a short but difficult meeting to do. Difficult because people might sometimes just brush it off saying, oh, it's just 15 minutes, forget it, I won't join. But having it's like checking the pulse, right? If you are not checking the pulse, you will not know if your patient is, having a healthy heart or not. Of course, today we don't check pulse, so to speak. We have other machinery to do that, but you get the basic idea, right? So that was about Scrum call. I hope you liked it. Feel free to shoot me any questions, any feedback. The links are in the show notes. Those watching on YouTube, I will have this on the screen as well, so watch out for that. So with that, this is Shir signing off. Thank you.